Mind the Net Goaltending presents a continuation of the size myth and the three sightlines of goaltending, understanding the puck's perspective. While we watch Keith, who is 6 feet tall, we will re-examine the three sightlines of goaltending as outlined in our previous instructional video, the size myth and the three sightlines of goaltending. The three sightlines are listed in order of importance. The first sightline is the goaltender's. The goaltender's point of view determines what they will need to do during the game in order to be successful. The second most important perspective is the puck's. The puck's perspective is important because it always knows exactly what is required for it to enter the net. The last perspective is the shooter's. Since the shooter's view is skewed, the goaltender must only need to know what the shooter thinks they see and use that information against them. Next, we will watch Ashley, a 5'5" women's Division I goaltender. Ashley is a great example of how big a goaltender can look to the puck, no matter what size they are. Just by being at the top of the crease and in position, Ashley is able to stop pucks from entering the net over her shoulders. Unfortunately, most TV announcers talk about goals being scored over the shoulders, but as you can see, a shot over the shoulders, even on a 5'5" goaltender, is very hard to accomplish unless the goalie really messes something up. Once Ashley understood how large she looked to the puck, she became one of our best top prospect students during the 2009 summer camp season. With increased confidence, Ashley was regularly stopping WHL, NCAA, and professional hockey shooters. Mind the Net Goaltending challenges you during the season to watch highlights of goals being scored and paying a particular attention to the height of the puck as it is passing the goaltender on its way into the net. Rarely do you see a puck actually enter the net over the goaltender's shoulders. Our third goalie, Angus, stands at 5'11". Angus is an excellent example of a goaltender that can take up a massive amount of space through strong top of the crease positioning and a balanced ready stance. In the ridiculousness that is the hockey world, Angus is considered small. As you can plainly see, Angus is not a small goaltender. In fact, at some angles, he takes up almost all of the available space in the net when he is in position and waiting for a shot to come. Unfortunately, many coaches would rather take a 6'4" goaltender over a 5'11" goaltender, even if the 5'11" goaltender is the stronger all-around goaltender. This is why more goalies and coaches need to understand the puck's perspective before making judgments based on size alone. Justin, a 5'11" goaltender, is positioned like all of the other goaltenders in this video, primarily at the top of the crease, with the camera positioned at the top of the circles. Then the camera is positioned at the dropper side face-off dot, the side wall where the hash marks meet the boards, and the bottom of the circle with the goalie in a VH position. And then everything is repeated on the blocker side face-off dot, the blocker side wall where the hash marks meet the boards, and the bottom of the circle with the goalie in a VH position. Seeing the puck's perspective from different angles can help a goaltender to understand the importance of proper positioning and what is required to gain that proper position. While watching Mitch, a 5'11" goaltender, we will discuss the fingers up glove position as it relates to the puck's perspective. Many goaltenders like to hold their trapper in a fingers up position while in their basic stance and then raise their trapper to shoulder height. This is done to supposedly cover the top corner. As you can see in this video, a trapper held at shoulder level in a fingers up position could result in a goalie covering space above the crossbar. If a trapper is covering space above the crossbar, what is the point of the trapper itself? Goalies, especially goalies who hold their gloves in a fingers up position, make sure your trapper is actually located in the scoring space. Next is Jordan, a 5'9" goaltender. He was one of our first students to really grasp the importance of understanding the puck's perspective. When we first met Jordan, he expressed that he played very aggressively because coaches always told him he was small. Jordan used to play 4 to 5 feet outside his crease to make up for his supposed lack of size. Unfortunately, playing 4 to 5 feet outside the crease causes a lot of problems if there is even one uncontrolled rebound or the puck moves laterally because the amount of space to cover is quite large. Even if the goalie makes the save, they are usually scrambling to make that save, often causing further problems. Once Jordan mixed his incredible mobility skills to his understanding of the puck's perspective, he became a very effective elite goaltender. Carson, a 5'11" goaltender, reminds us that all goaltenders have different styles and comfort levels. As you can see, his stance is quite different from the other goaltenders in this video, especially when looking at the depth and width of the stance. It is important for goaltenders to find a comfort zone while ensuring that the scoring space is being covered, while maintaining balance, and while being able to move powerfully and smoothly in all directions. Despite the width of his stance, Carson is able to move into position powerfully and smoothly without losing depth or balance. One of Carson's greatest strengths is the ability to make the game very simple. Our last goaltender, Warren, is 6'3". By seeing our tallest goalie at the end of the video, we had the opportunity to see that goalies as tall as 5'5" can take up a comparable amount of net as a 6'3" goaltender. Realistically, the height of the goalie can be relatively inconsequential, as most goalies are over 4 feet tall, or basically taller than the crossbar. A 6'3" goaltender just covers more space above the scoring space than a 5'10" goaltender. The biggest determining factor of size covering the scoring space once the goalie is in position is the effectiveness of the goalie's stance and the width of the goalie's torso, not the height. Goaltenders, use your understanding of the puck's perspective to your advantage to help gain confidence you need to be an effective goaltender. Thank you for watching. Please remember to check out our website, blog, or join our Facebook group.